Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us this evening. It has been quite a minute since I have been streaming, but it's time to get into it again. This past Saturday, I went to the Alpha Omega Con. It is the longest running Christian comic convention in America, and it kind of just spurred me on to all things Christian comics. So today we're going to discuss all things Christian comics, the Christian comic book industry, where it's at, where it's been, where it's going. And I have two great guests with me today. So I am going to introduce them, but I did just find out that we lost another wonderful Christian guy in the Christian realm, a pastor, a theologian, an apologist by the name of Vodi Bakum. So I just want to take a moment. Let me bring in our guests real quick as well. But if you guys have not heard of Vodi Bakum, wonderful guy, super amazing voice. He reminds me a lot of my old pastor who passed away in 2010. But anyway, if you don't know who he is, please check him out. I have a little post on my X there. You can kind of listen to him preach the gospel. And I was actually at that event. That's Shepherd's Conference, I think a few years back. And I got to be there for that. And it's just powerful. It's amazing. So he did a lot of stuff when it comes to critical race theory. Huge, outspoken about that. DEI, the family, wrote many books on that stuff. But if you want a concise idea of critical race theory, get his book. It's called Fault Lines. Highly recommend it. So anyway, just another huge loss. And I know you guys all out there have been feeling it hard, listening to a lot of Charlie Kirk videos and stuff. And we're right there with you. So I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm sure it's been a tough few weeks.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
It's been a complete.
Sorry, I'm trying to share the show out.
A complete reordering of everything. So,
yeah,
it's been nuts. I haven't grieved for somebody I didn't know personally ever in my life as much as I grieved for Charlie Kirk. It was really hard. I saw him once. I didn't get to meet him, but I got to go to the TPUSA Founders Retreat, which was down here at Del Coronado.
Oh, nice.
At the Hotel Del. And a friend of mine is a big donor, so she had an extra pass, and so my wife went one day, and then I went the next day, and I get to see him do this is the crazy thing. He was giving the pitch to all the donors, and they were all he like talked for like 2 hours talking about all the stuff that TPUSA did, and I'm like, I'm a big fan of Charlie Kirk, and I had no idea he did any of this. TPUSA, what Charlie Kirk has built is a freaking machine, and it will. Yeah. He said his goal was that TPUSA outlives him. Unfortunately, that happened way too fast, but it's going to outlive us all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what they can do or what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And it's very interesting, but he loved Coronado. And so that's right in me and Mike's backyard. And so after we heard he passed, we went down there, as a family just to remember Charlie. And, but same as you said, it's like I've never met him. My wife never met him, but like, gosh, it's just been so hard. So
yeah. Just a young kid with a dream.
Yeah.
And no sleep.
Right.
Well, it's like somebody said. It's like somebody said that if you felt his loss and you're a Christian, it's because you lost a brother, and so that's what I credit it to.
Yeah.
Yo, Abigail, what's up? Well, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you for joining us. XP Comics. I contacted TPUSA about having the organization help promote Christian conservative comic creators, and they haven't responded for a long while. Sad face. Yes. Well, that's what kind of what we're doing tonight.
That's a big enough target for them, frankly, because I thought about it too when I was there, and I was like, probably not, because they're doing much because their groundwork is, it's not like media culture, it's like political culture. Whereas I firmly believe that culture is downstream from media, i.e. entertainment, i.e. story. Story is what shapes culture. We're all built on the greatest story ever told, and it's still a story. right? It's like you're passing down this story, and that's what shapes our culture, and that's why story is so vital. But guys like Charlie and guys like, well, I mean, Ben Shapiro kind of gets it, but you know, these guys, they're not driven. Conservatives aren't driven to the story, to the entertainment media. They are driven to the political arena and shaping it that direction. And it's like that's all way downstream. Because Andrew Breitbart,
we're going to have to change that though.
Politics is downstream from culture, and I'm like, you're missing the key element here. Culture is downstream from story and media. So it's like you gotta conservatives, Christians, we need to get off our butt and do our part to shape the future of our culture, and thus we don't have to worry about politics because politics will take care of themselves.
Well said. Love it. Real quick, let me introduce you two gentlemen. So Telepathic Bunny here to my, am I right? Yes. So I've recently heard him on John's Long Box talking theology, describing the Bible, and he knows the word, and he's also a creator and a writer, and he's working on his own book called Community Service, right, T-Bunny? Awesome. So go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself, Telepathic Bunny, and yeah.
Well, I got into the arts, or like the visual arts, when I got obsessed with the children's Bible when I was a kid, and the illustrations, and got into comics to compensate for some childhood trauma, and about 2020. I just started writing my own, and I've been in production ever since. So got something coming out later this year. Got a sample for people to look at. But yep.
It's in the description, so check it out.
That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you, T-Bunny. Also, we have with us Mike Miller, who needs no introduction, but I'll try. So I met Mike way back in early 2000s, around 2005. And so he had started Alias Comics with Brett Berner. And it was kind of a God wink moment for me because I went to art college for 2 years after high school, got my degree in illustration. And then I was kind of like, it was a secular school, and I was kind of like a baby Christian. I'm like, I don't know if this is where God wants me. It was kind of, too worldly or whatever, too secular. And so I went to Bible college for a year up in Boston. And like the whole time I was there, the Lord was telling me, pursue your art, be salt and light. A great book I read was Roaring Lambs, and we need to be in every media, entertainment, you name it. Like we need to be in all those areas and be salt and light in those areas. So got married to my wife, moved to San Diego, and lo and behold, we moved to La Mesa, and blocks away, I run into Mike S. Miller and Brett, who just started Alias Comics and was putting out Christian material. You guys were publishing stuff from Gary Shipman, Kevin Graveau, writers like Ben Avery, J.S. Earls. I'm probably leaving a lot out, but lots and lots of guys. So that's where I got to meet Mike. He took me under his wing, mentored me, and I'll let you take it from there, Mike.
It's kind of stinky under there, but No, I kind of helped nudge Eric along, gave him his first gig. That was funny. Well, because I stopped doing it, and I'm like, I think Eric can do this. And so it's like I just threw Eric into the fire to see if he could swim. And he and look, there's no better way to learn than to do. And so Eric was like, here you go, you have 6 graphic novels you have to draw. And he just got in there and paddled his doggy paddle until he started, I think that helped you quite a bit, shaping your.
That was 1,000 pages worth of comic I drew.
Paid. So you know how few people get to start their careers by being paid to draw 1,000 pages.
Yep. That was huge. I got to learn all that structure.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And somehow I still couldn't break him of his Jim Lee addiction. So.
Well, it's funny because if you look at Hand of the Morning Star, the further you get, the more it kind of gets away.
He may have a little influence there.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, me, I just I stopped doing. Actually, it was after that I was doing Injustice, right? So after that, I was doing some work for DC again, and then I ended up on Injustice, and that ended up being my big deal comic. And then I did my own stuff, including Lone Star. And then like there's two of these printed. The third one is extraordinarily late. 3 months in a
Sorry, I had to use that.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah, well, I thought it'd be a great place to start as far as
Yay! Nice. That's the cover I got to fix John Malin's pencils.
Did you ink it or what?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. I had to change. So he gave the girls like these microcephalic heads, like tiny, like you couldn't fit a brain in there. So I had to fix those, and yeah, worked out pretty good. He's got good, a good start.
I'm sure the boobs were the right size, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we talk, hey, Injustice was great. It says Creators Outlet. Of course.
Well, thank you.
And Cross Comics, I've all saved the last book of Hand of the Morning Star. Oh, man. All right. Well, reach out to me because I think I have a few extra like of the small versions, and maybe I can get you one. But I did put links in the description for Hand of the Morning Star. It's it's something we did way back. We'll talk about that, but it's now published as like a collected graphic novel. Let me show you guys. But yeah, this was so Mike did the first 2 issues, and then
I wrote the first 3.
Okay, and he illustrated and wrote.
Yeah.
And then Brett Berner picked up from there, and then I illustrated all the rest.
So
it's black and white.
I wrote your first work.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey guys, just so you know, Mike has been like so instrumental in my journey. So I just got to shout out to Mike. But I mean, I got Hand of the Morning Star working with Mike. I got Monomyth from Mike. We're at a convention, and this guy's looking at artwork on the table, and he sees Mike's angels that he drew, and he's like, "Well, this is great." And he somehow comes over to me, and he's like, "This is great work." And like, I thought he was talking about my work because I've drawn angels, and so I'm just like going along with it, and come to find out he wants to hire Mike, but he's actually talking to me. So but Mike's like, "Yeah, hire him. Mike was too busy anyway. Yeah. So, and then later on, I got to do the Meg graphic novel. I got to do all background inks on Mike's work, minus the spotting the blacks. I don't know why I didn't do that. Stupid, but anyway. So I owe a lot of my what I've done to Mike. So thank you, sir. Just want to give you a shout out.
For sure.
So yeah, let's start the conversation with Christian Comics. Where has it been? And feel free to chime in here, guys. I'm just gonna kind of share what I know about Christian Comics, but here is an old school, the picture Bible. This is very, very old. This is
I have like a leather cover or a brown cover version of that from way back.
So then fast forward to, gosh, I don't know when this was published.
The Action Bible.
The Action Bible.
So
you want to hear something funny, right? So I had this for a long time, and we ended up getting one of these, and I'm flipping through, and I'm like it looks very similar. I'm like, did he swipe it? Like, what's going on? And then I didn't realize that it's a new translation. So like you can see some of the artwork, and it's very similar, almost like a swipe, but it's not a swipe because it's the same publisher. They just wanted to update it. And so Sergio Chiarello did this version, and so I'm like going through, I'm like, this looks exactly like this. Like, what did you do?
I never compared the two.
Yeah. So I was getting all mad, like he's swiping, but I'm like, oh, it's the same publisher. That's probably what they wanted him to do.
I found this one.
Nice. The New Testament graphic novel. How old is that one?
Yep.
Very nice.
I think
I'm not sure. To 2023 actually. So pretty new.
Very new. This has sold, I think,
Jose Perez Montero.
Okay. So like 1.3 million copies, I think, of the Action Bible. It's probably more at this point, but that's crazy. That's insane.
Nice.
So
I've got a copy.
What's that?
He said he's got a copy. Yeah, I've got a copy around
Okay.
here somewhere.
Yeah.
Unless it's in the boys' room.
Norman, what's up?
Oh.
Christian Comics started Spire Comics doing Christian Archies and Chick Comics. Yeah, I've heard of Chick Comics, like the small. Are they the Chick Tracks? Yeah. So anyway, that's then. Now, something that's kind of a little in the 90s, which I've heard about, but I never really got until this past Saturday at the Alpha MegaCon, but Archangels. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but Patrick Scott was the writer. Had some guys, I think from Image, that worked with him.
I've seen him. I didn't get him though.
This issue has liquid colors on the colors, like liquid. I forget his real name. It's
Christian Leitner and Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron. What's her last name? I forget.
Andy Park drew this issue, which is probably, as far as like artwork, probably the best issue. But yeah,
it's Andy Park.
It's Andy Park, exactly.
For those who don't know, Andy Park started at Image, and then he's now one of the two key character designers for Marvel, Hollywood Marvel.
Yeah. So okay, just to give you guys context, I became a Christian in 1999. So this came out in like early 2000s. So kind of like, I'm gonna make an analogy, right? When I became a Christian, I listened to Metallica, I listened to Green Day, I listened to all the alternative and the rock and all that. But I was like, once I became a Christian, I'm like, I'm not going to listen to that anymore. Like it was very empty, very hollow. Right. So I'm like, I need something more, something to fill my soul. Right. So started listening to Christian music, and it was kind of like, there was not a lot there. And there was, Third Day was a big one. I love Third Day, Mercy Me, those kinds of guys, but there wasn't a whole lot. And I
make this comparison always a lot.
What's that?
I said, I make this comparison a lot.
People
bought, the reason there was crap Christian music was because there wasn't a lot, and people just bought it because it was Christian, not because it was good.
Yeah. So I just remember thinking, I'm like, man, when is this going to get good? Just kind of like, I almost wanted to listen to secular music because I'm like, it's not as good. The Christian music one isn't as good. So,
consider most of those people are apostate now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Not Third Day, thankfully. I love Third Day. I like Mercy Me. But anyway, Skillet, Abigail. Yeah. I just posted a song from Skillet on my feed on X today. Awesome song. But anyway, so I'm thinking like, when's it going to get good? There wasn't a lot there. And so that's kind of where I'm at with Christian comics. I'm like, well, when's it going to get good? Like, I feel like it's very fractured. Like there's not really a banner or like anything to unite the Christian comic community. So that's basically why I wanted to discuss with you guys and kind of, Mike, you're a great person to talk to because you started Cross Culture Comics from Alias, and you that was like the first real Christian comic book company. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but I mean, as far as publishing other people's stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what
one of our books was the Manga Bible. I think Cross has mentioned it.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of Christian.
There's a Manga Bible too. Yeah, the Manga Bible we actually translated from a Korean manhwa, so we translated that. We brought it here. We also did the Book of Daniel. We made that not in house, but we wrote it and had it hired the artist and all that stuff. So we did quite a bit of stuff. We did Ben Avery's Time Flies, obviously Hannah and the Morning Star. Gosh, what else did we do? We did a bunch of stuff.
You did Packin's Land?
Packin's Land. We published Packin's Land.
Oh, don't forget this one. Armor Quest. Ben Avery.
Armor Quest. How could I forget Armor Quest?
This
That's
is really
my
good.
artist for Deal with the Devil.
Yep. Really cool stuff. And I think you published like a small underworld thing with Kevin Griveau. I mean, that wasn't Christian per se, but yeah, Titan Mountain Mice.
Yeah, I don't remember that part. But yeah, it was Cross Culture, which was oddly enough, that was the name of that's years before when we were there used to be a Yahoo group for Christian creators and comics and stuff. And I was a part of that group. And like, that's how I met Ben Avery and Sean Jordan and some of these other guys. And so I wanted to do a Christian comic book company called Cross Culture. Get it? Cross Culture. And we ended up using that name and that logo for our brand at Alias that we used into and then, I let Brett have it when I left under mysterious circumstances.
Tomo. Yeah. Now, who published Tomo? Was that kind of like separate? Because I know it was under the whole Lamppost Zondervan thing. I
I
have
don't
copies
remember
of it.
Tomo. Gosh, I'm
Yeah.
blanking.
It was. I like the artwork. I think it was a Disney artist, but it's very cool style.
Oh, was
Tomo. Let me. How do I present?
that wasn't us. I think there was another Tom Bancroft. Oh, was that Tom Bancroft? Well, maybe it was us then. I just remember Zondervan. Zondervan wasn't just working with us.
Yeah, I think this is one of the ones that was like not us, but
Yeah,
still in the same realm. But
right.
Really cool, really good series. I don't have the whole thing, but it's good, stuff.
And there's Hero Bear and the Kid too. Was Mike up there at? I mean, it wasn't us. I'm just saying we still had it. Hero Bear and the Kid is a good. Mike Kunkel's a good Christian brother.
Yeah.
So.
Hero Bear.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was there last year, but he was not there this year because I remember.
Right.
He's got his whole table and he's got like the stuffed animal bears and everything, and yeah, he's got some cool stuff.
I was there. Was it the first year or the second year? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if it was the first. So the first Alpha MegaCon was 2014. I may have been there the second year, but yeah, you were there. I think Brett might have been there. I think Brett was there. So
yeah, harder, so much to remember.
So when you guys kind of take us through like the how Alias started and because it wasn't a Christian company, but you guys did publish a lot of Christian stuff.
Right. Alias started. I knew Everett because he interviewed me for. Is it 8 Ball magazine? It was a Christian magazine, and he interviewed me as a Christian creator, and I think I was on JLA or something at the time. And so Everett and I, got to know each other a little bit, and then he introduced me to Brett. And then when I came down for Comic-Con, Brett and I, hung out and had dinner and or lunch and started talking about stuff because Brett's a magazine publisher, right? Mm-hmm. And he, first of all, when I explained to him how the comic book industry worked, wherein basically you just sell to the publishers. I mean, not the publishers, the distributors. You sell to the comic book shops, which is actually, no, you're selling to the distributor. Sorry, it's been a while since that. So you sell to the distributor. The distributor sells to the comic book shops, and none of it's returnable because as a magazine publisher, he was like, we sell what sells at the, off the shelf. And then what doesn't sell off the shelf gets, the cover gets torn back and mailed back to us. They pulp the rest or they throw away the rest, frankly. And
then you don't get that money, right?
That money, doesn't come in. So he's like, that's crazy. You mean that we could sell stuff and it'll just sit on the shelf and we still get the money? And I'm like, yes, that's the comic. And so he loved that model. And so he's like, he wanted to do stuff. I'm like, bro, I've got books. Like, me, I'm always creating stuff. So I already had stuff like I wanted to work on. I'd already, and so we just kind of went out the gate with, we started at Image because I was still in good with Image at that time. And we launched Imaginaries and we launched Lullaby. And Lullaby did really well. Like, they did their best. And then it came time for us to do Deal with the Devil, which we were already funding. And we'd already had, I wrote it. Sherwin was the artist on it. And we were like 2 or 3 issues in because we'd already previously been approved. Eric already approved of the book, right? And then Eric goes, oh, yeah, I'm not publishing that. And I'm like, oh, we already... Let me explain something to you. You approved this book, so we spent good money making this book because you already approved it. He's like, yeah, we're not going to publish that book. I'm like, all right. So, Brett sat down and we're like, well, we could just launch our own publishing company. And so we did that. And then I just started reaching out to people who I knew were working on stuff or had stuff.
2004, 2005, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, because I moved down here in 2005. So it was right around that time. And so, I had already, however many years of connections in the industry. I started in 92. So yeah, by that time I had a dozen years in the industry already. So I knew a bunch of people, and I'm like, well, if we're going to do this, let's go big or go home. So we lined up a dozen books, Imaginaries, Lullaby, my own, talked to Darren Davis. We had The 10th Muse. We had some other stuff, Atlas. We had some of his stuff. We had some Lethal something or other, the werewolf book. We had Ryan Otley's Ted Noodleman, Bicycle Delivery Boy. And Oz F5.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Those are both Ryan Otley books. So we published Ryan. We published Mark Brooks's Atlas, which was he was the artist on Atlas for. So we actually published a nice big grip of books. It was, I think, the largest first month publishing schedule of a new publisher like ever. And then things went a little sideways, but I don't need to get into that.
Yeah.
It was really funny because it was right after CrossGen had crapped the bed, and so retailers were like, awesome, we need something to replace, to fill that CrossGen void. And I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And
I remember how many years did it?
I was very irritated by the sideways movement.
Yeah. So it only lasted for like 2 years or something like that?
Well, I mean, if you include the Image, the time at Image, and then the time it was just probably 3 or 4 years, I would think. Okay. But yeah, because we were doing the Image stuff 2003, 2004 maybe, and then I moved down in 2005. I was there for 2006, 2007. So somewhere around that kind of range.
Gotcha.
I mean, we were already and we were working on like the manga stuff or the Zondervan stuff for a while before I left. So yeah.
Gotcha.
And that was part of the deal. So I just gave him, I'm like, this is yours. I'll take this. You take that.
Gotcha. So you got to keep like Imaginaries and Lullaby and all that stuff.
Well, I never signed that over.
Oh, okay.
That was all always mine. So, but like Deal with the Devil, like anything that I created that Alias had funded, right? It was like, I got that. And then like the stuff that I worked on, like Hand of the Morning Star and all that stuff, I just gave over. Although I'm not to be a pill about it, but if you look at the credits, Brett's name is first, and I did almost everything on those first 2 issues. Right. Yeah. I mean, not to hate on Brett. I'm not hating on Brett, but he gave me like a paragraph this is the plot for each book. I'm like, these books are like, how long were the books?
150 pages.
150 pages. These books are 150 pages each.
Yeah.
I wrote an entire, 300 pages actually, 450 pages. And then Brett took top billing, and I'm like, okay, that's
whatever. I mean, I guess when you put it all together, he wrote, more overall, but yeah.
He wrote no. I mean, even on those first 2 individual books. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Right. He co-created it. I created it. Whatever. Well, no, but he got those as part of the divorce, and then I got my stuff. So it was all copacetic, and his friends, his son and my kids are still good friends. He was here last night actually. So nice. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
It wasn't like an Eastman and Laird breakup. It wasn't like that.
No, because we're brothers in Christ, so we have to like each other.
We have to.
Okay, we don't
Cool.
have to.
So
Oh,
I
we
remember.
do. We're still chill. I just
Yeah.
don't talk to him as much as I used to, but that's because we're both busy doing our own stuff. He did a lot. He did a whole soda company,
Yeah.
and all
Swell.
he did all kinds. Brett never stops working, so
Yeah. He yes. Well, I think he
sold it.
sold it to Costco.
He didn't.
Or-
No, I think Costco is just one of the vendors, but he sold it to
Okay.
somebody, and yeah.
Okay.
So he did all right.
Good for him, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
I ran into him at Costco where they're selling the soda.
Yeah.
And so, we got like a case.
Was Isaac there? Isaac was working for him then.
Yeah. Isaac was there. Yep. And so he was talking to me about, potentially selling it. And so cool. I'm glad to hear he did.
Right on.
That's awesome. So yeah, when I was, sometime in there, I started an internship with Mike and Brett. And, I remember you guys are published, like you did like a little David book, and it was like a little.
Oh yeah, I forgot about David.
There was
That was great.
David's Mighty Men. That was another cool one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Javier Saltares. Marvel Ghost Rider artist.
Yeah, like top notch stuff. I mean, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
So was that published under Alias, or was that kind of like, if it was Christian, was it like separate, or was it?
Yeah, we. I think we. Oh my gosh! Now I don't even remember.
Because I cracked open. All right, so on this one,
I think no, because right. So that stuff, that's like the cross culture secondary.
Community Comics.
Second
Okay.
Oh no, Community Comics was
Community Comics. Yeah.
I think that's Ben Avery's tag. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cross culture was the thing we used for Zondervan, I believe.
Okay.
And then the other Christian stuff was we just published Christian comics. Or it's not like we were like, hey, these are Christian comics. It's just we just published Christian comics because we're Christians and we like comics. So.
Yeah.
And we were targeting good, solid. I mean, Javier, you get Marvel artists you get great stuff like that. You publish it. Why do you have? You don't have to. Put it under a different banner or anything like that. It was just what we did.
Okay, cool. Because I was like Googling it because I couldn't remember everything, but there's something about cross culture comics. So I was like, oh, okay. So was it like all the Christian comics fell under that, or was it just kind of, I couldn't really remember. But,
yeah. To my recollection, that was the Zondervan stuff.
Cool deal. All right. Well, so that was some background. There's a manga adaptation of Narnia. I was recently reading in English translated Scantron of the Magician's Nephew. That's cool.
That's also very interesting. That's because I thought he must have died. The one who was in charge didn't want to have anything to do with comics. So, but
from
that was a while ago. So maybe the next one coming up is like, no, I like comics.
All right,
Christopher Tolkien.
Yeah, I think no, not Tolkien. This is for Narnia.
C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis is after grandkid or whatever. They're like, no comics.
Oh, C.S. Lewis. I'm sorry, C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
You're right.
So let's talk current day Christian comics. What are your guys' thoughts on, because I mean, to me, again, it feels kind of, there's tons of Christian artists out there, but as far as a community, it seems kind of fractured. Like if you Google Christian comics, you'll find like a few companies, but it's hard to like find Christian comics, if that makes sense. What do you got, Bunny?
I talked way too much.
I've got some examples here. You want me to run through them real quick?
Let's hear it.
Okay. This is Soul Finder.
Nice.
Yep. That's put out by Iconic.
Okay.
Right here. Yeah.
Nice.
This is
Matt
Douglas
Weldon.
Ernst. This is his comic. It's,
okay.
A black ops priest. So if you want something more wacky side, this is Mary Boys.
I've seen that. That's
a bunch of hooligans that were
that
saved from abortion.
What's that?
Well, it's got Catholic imagery. It's the guy who's like saved those boys was a priest, and so it has a lot of that in it. So
okay,
I don't know if it's necessarily Christian, but it's definitely got those elements in it.
Well, Soul
This is
Finder
Hybrids. Luke
Catholic.
Stone.
Oh yeah, Luke Stone. Yep. Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Soul Finder's very, very Catholic. Yeah, Luke Stone. This has a lot of Christianity in it. One of the best series, I think.
Nice.
This guy, he's all right. He does okay.
All right. Thank you for that shout out.
Now I don't think I don't know that Dave Brink is Christian, but this has one of the best redemption stories, one of the best redemption arcs in it,
Nice.
called Perfect 10. Android or Synthroids. He's but has a lot of heroic redemption story and things like that. This is War Party.
All right, yeah, heard of that.
It's pretty violent. It's pretty violent comic, but the main character is definitely Christian, does pray and things like that. But it does have
Abigail brings up
other elements in it.
That one's like
my friend Hoju.
Oh yeah, Hojo.
I haven't read this. I have the whole collection, but
So this is Mythicals.
Sorry, my color's messed up.
Sorry, Bunny. Be right back to you.
No.
Cool. Very nice.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
But
and one second.
But I think I
would just want to say
Go
Cross
ahead.
Comics. He has a Christian comic company, and I just want to let you know this is the first of many different streams I'd like to do on covering just Christian comics and stuff. So I will have you on, good sir. So don't you worry. But
there's this Eric.
Yeah, you definitely need to get Luke Stone on.
July fella too, who's a Christian making comics with Christian creators.
This is true. Yeah, and we could get into that as well.
Right to God, Aaron Lopresti, definitely Christian.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a ton of Christian comic artists out there. So I guess for me, it's like I'd love to see, I guess going forward, like what does that look like for, Christian comics? Do we need just to have like a website database where we have like all, a list of the books that are out there, like somewhere you can go to actually find Christian content and like have it all in one spot. Like, we didn't even really get into, if you guys have heard of Kingstone Comics, they are a huge publisher of Christian material. They're probably what's that?
They're the big one, right?
They are, yeah. They're probably the biggest.
Ben's been working for them ever since Alias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Sergio. Who else is working at Kingstone?
Yeah.
Ben Avery. He's there.
I said Ben.
Oh, did you? Sorry. I missed it. A funny story. I worked with Ben and Art Aries, who does Kingstone Comics. I did like a whole issue of the Christ series and illustrated the whole thing. The whole time they were saying like, oh yeah, it's good. Like I didn't think I was needed to change anything. And I was doing like a Sergio Chiarello style, which, that's not me, but I did my best. And so I got to the end of the book and then they're like, yeah, sorry, it's not going to work. It's not gelling with his style. Like it didn't match. And so I was like, all right. I mean, they paid me, but I was like, sorry. They never told me to like change anything. You know what I mean? So I felt bad, but yeah, just funny story. But I got to work with Ben Avery for the first time, and so
nice.
It was
nice.
It was cool.
Yeah, I've been working with Ben since the Hedge Knight. Wow. So about 2002, I think I started working with him. He was, like I said, when that was back before social media, and so we were all on that Yahoo group, that Christian L. I think it was Christian Comics L list. And so when it came time, we needed a writer. I was at the Bell Brothers and we needed a writer. I was like, all right, I'd already picked out who I wanted to work with from that list. And that was Ben and that was Sean Jordan. And so I had them and I can't remember. I think somebody else, like third person, write up sample scripts from George's book from the Hedge Knight and send them to George. And George actually picked Ben to be out of the guys I gave him. So I like handed him all these Christians. I'm like, pick one of my Christians.
Right. That's awesome.
I guess I kind of broke Ben into the industry. Look at me bringing people into this industry. What an idiot.
XP Comics. I wish Kingstone was more interested in publishing small creators. Yeah, their model is like, you know, they've always done Christian, like straight from the Bible kind of stuff, like more Bible centered. So they did recently. So this is up on the screen is U.S. Comics, and so it's a whole, you know, thing of different U.S. history. So the Constitution, the sacrifice. So that cover I actually illustrated for them, and I got to do a handful of pages in the I think it's the Constitution book they put out. And this is, you know, like I think last year or the year before I got to do that work with them. So yeah, they're great to work with, but they kind of stick to, you know, one genre at a time almost. They're not like branching out. They're not bringing new blood in. And so, you know, which would be cool if they're doing like other stuff, but they have a great relationship with Ben, and me and Ben were kind of talking about the Battle Mode Omega idea that I had, and you know, we're shopping it to them, but it was kind of like, well, if you do it, then we'll consider publishing it. So we needed to do the whole thing first. So it was kind of like, all right, well, maybe down the road, because I got to get Shadow Sentry done. But you know, they are open to publishing other people's stuff, but I think they're looking for fully complete material, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And they're also steering away from the superhero genre, sadly. So
so it's Boom.
Yeah.
I asked Ross, I was like, hey, would you be interested in some comics? He's like, yeah, what is it? And I sent him Lone Star. I was like, yeah, we're not doing superheroes, man.
Darn.
All right. Yeah. Highlight Twitless, because he does have a point.
Twitless. Curating a Christian comics list sounds like a potentially sticky wicket. What would be the criteria for who gets in it or stays in it? That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good topic. You know, just throwing out thoughts, but I mean, you could do like, wait, hold on.
Gatekeeping.
That
would need to be gatekept.
What's that?
It would have to be gatekept.
I think so. Yeah. Because, you know, there's Christian writers and artists, but what they produce may not be Christian.
Right. So, and then there's Christian writers and artists.
Right. Exactly.
And then there's Catholic, and then there's Mormon, and then there's, you know, it's like, oh, how come I can't get in there? It's like, yeah. So I think to some extent it would have to be gatekept. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, it's just an idea, you know. Again, I was brainstorming. I'm like, well, shoot, could I have a thing on my website like Eric Ninaltowski art with just like highlighting just Christian content, you know, that I like, or you know what I mean? But then that's not everybody, right? So how do you get everybody in there? And you know, yeah. Well, you know what you could do. Unfortunately, IndieCron is on hiatus right now. But what you could very easily do is you could take a site like IndieCron, and you could have a certain number of trusted creators, and just do a trusted creators who would review books and be able to highlight or give books we love from Kickstarter. It's like, you know, books this certain group of trusted creators have vetted and think this is appropriate for the Christian market.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you say, T Bunny? Thoughts? Or not?
Well, I think that I just think that there's a dividing line between content that is labeled as Christian and basically
Mike's art,
people with the Christian worldview creating things for the market. And basically I think that Christian worldview is underrepresented, and I do think that people that produce that have a going to have a bigger impact on the market myself, because people can silo off anybody that's anything that's overtly Christian or people that label themselves as Christian. And I think it's kind of, Luke Stone said something that kind of changed my perspective on it. And he says, if you are a Christian and you basically create from the point of view of a Christian, and the Spirit dwells within you, and whatever you create, then God is going to use it. And so, in a way, I mean, even if you don't have it labeled as Christian, even if your stuff doesn't come out, as evangelical or whatever, then it's going to have an impact. And so, anything that pushes the world in the direction, it's like Charlie Kirk said about politics. People were like, "Well, why are you going with the political thing?" And he's like, "Well, you start with the political, and if you get people interested in the politics of freedom, then they're going to work their way back to the source of freedom." And so, we've got a world that doesn't interact if there's a Christian label on anything. But if you manage to get through the door with, if your work comes from that point of view, that perspective, and has that morality to it, then it's going to push people in the right direction, and maybe in increments or whatever. But, you could be a gateway drug to get them through the door. But I think by labeling things as Christian and having it, like, I'm a Christian artist, this is a Christian thing, this is Christian themes, I do think you give them the ability to sort you out and kind of put a filter, up and say, well, I'm not going to read your stuff because I don't share your values. But I just think that creation has come from a pure place. And if you like smother your creativity or aim your creativity in just one direction and not let it be what it's going to be, then I think you're not quite fulfilling your responsibilities as a creator that is Christian. So anyway, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because Shadow Century even is not what I would call a Christian comic book per se. Like, I don't label it as a Christian book. I'm a Christian artist and writer.
Good example.
Right. Yeah. So, but in the book are Christian themes all over it. Heaven, hell, highborn, hellborn. So it's like it's in there. But I want the non-Christian to pick it up, so that way you're influencing them. So, and I'm sure I speak for everybody. There was a time when you picked up a comic and you were super influenced by what was in front of you, for good or ill. But comics are just very influential. They were in my life. And so, as a Christian, I'm like, gosh, man, if I could tap into this and use this to, spread God's good news and, use me, Lord. So no, that's a great point. So that's a good distinction. And maybe that'd be something to have on the website as well. Like, here are Christian artists and writers, and then here's actually Christian material, that would be a good dividing line for people, just so they understand what they're getting into. So I do think that Christian comics can get bigger now with Gen Z becoming more Christian than ever. Yeah. And it'll likely do the same for Gen Alpha, Beta. So we need to get our stuff out there. Amen. Yeah. So, and again, that's why I wanted to have this conversation, like, just kind of, our lips to God's ears. How can we get the ball rolling? What can we do? And I brought up the Christian Comic Art Society website because they do have, it's kind of like a database, sort of. But unfortunately, when you go to books, the link goes nowhere and it doesn't exist. So next week, I am going to have Ralph Miley on with me to talk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I will bring this up to him, like, hey, Ralph, your website's broken. Or, how can is there a way to utilize that? Like, kind of just pick his brain, see what, what their goal is, and, how we can just bring this all together and yeah, so yeah, I just think, there's people doing their stuff, and there's just not like a unified, kind of like let's go. So I don't know. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. Let's get something going, make something cohesive, and bring all of it together. So that way, if someone were to type in like Google, just hey, Christian comic books, it's not just Kingstone, or there's another one. I think it's Unity Comics. It's more like Catholic, but there's only like 2 or 3, and then you'll get Christian Comic Art Society in there as well. But it'd be cool to have like somewhere people can go and just see like these are all the Christian artists.
Honestly, it needs to be like a review site, and have people actually review the content and let the audience who's looking to buy stuff know. It's like, is it Soul Finder, and is it like high in Catholic ideology and that stuff? And if you're cool with that, that's what you want. Or you just want it because it's a fun, story, whatever. Because there's going to be people who don't want that. I'm not saying that I'm nothing against Soul Finder. I haven't read it, but there's going to be people who are sticklers for their orthodoxy.
Sure.
Right.
Or you might
so
get
if you had like some sort of a review site. Right. Well, Weldon's not writing anything. He's just drawing great stuff. Have people review, and you can have people from different whatever with different opinions. Get John Delarose to review books because he's Catholic, and it's like, okay, this is Catholic and this was it's blah 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 blah. Whatever it is, it's people need to know what they're buying. If they're going into that, hey, what's this Christian site? It's like, well, what do you mean by Christian? You know what I mean?
Right. People are gonna have.
Well, let me explain what we mean by Christian and why this guy likes this book, but this guy doesn't. Means like you might like it and you might not. Whatever.
Yeah, there's a company out there called Divinity Comics, and they're not anything to do with Christian stuff.
They mean like the candy?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Mike and Mindy Wheeler. Their company is Divinity Comics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's porn. They hate it when I say that.
So anyway,
they manifested when I told them they draw porn. Like you guys sit there and portray yourselves as Christian, and you send me a book called Boobs. I'm like, no, this is porn. It's not porn. It's not. I'm like, okay, well, whatever your definition of porn is, it's wrong.
Yeah. It's not porn. I won't even go down that road. I'll just say, man, she's been posting some crazy stuff about Erica Kirk, and I'm not even. Oh, that gets under my skin. So don't go read her Facebook page. Yeah. Anywho,
sorry, I got kicked off of Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, unless you guys have anything else to add, I think we could end it here, and you guys can.
You want to look at Afar? I sent you the link.
Yeah. Let's check that out. And then I have yours up as well, T Bunny. So we'll check that out.
Yeah, I'm currently talking to a sort of a publisher about Afar. So,
all right.
If you want to.
Afar.
It's 180 pages, so I need to upload the rest of them. What am I at? September 13th? Yeah, I'm a couple weeks behind. But this is the entire Bible, or not the entire Bible. This is the synoptic gospel stories told without words. So anyone on earth can get the message.
That is rad. Very cool. I remember. Were you doing?
I've got to get up in the morning. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, T-Buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you. Peace.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Yeah, he is 3 hours ahead of us, so he is later.
What was your question?
You published another comic strip, kind of same
style. Bless This Mess.
Bless This Mess. That's right.
I never published the book because it didn't get fully funded, but it was what's the word, syndicated in Scandinavia.
That's right. I remember that.
They called it Little Angels.
Bless This Mess is so much better.
Right? And then someone made a Bless This Mess TV show, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I'm syndicated with this title.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, I look forward to working out the details of the publishing of that, because this is really for me. This is just a ministry tool, so I don't need to make a bunch of money off of it. I mean, I'll make some money off of it, but I'd rather get it into the hands of ministries who want to use it as a tool to bring people to Christ at actually donate it. I want people to be able to donate to it to get it to ministries that are basically pre-screened.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it should be. Whenever we get around to that, that'll be
Awesome, man. Very cool. And so what are you currently working on? So Lone Star 3 is going to be out soon, correct?
It'll be out when it's out. It's done. I do need to do some tweaks on the lettering. Actually, I just sent it to Jeff, JS Earls, and I'm like, you want to give this a 1-through? Because it's so funny. I sent it to so many people, and none of them gave me this needs to be, this is spelled wrong, whatever. And Jeff went through it with a fine-tooth comb, and he sent me just a list of things I need to do. I'm like, wow, I am so glad I sent that to you. Now I got to go in and fix all that stuff and get it ready for printing. So otherwise, I'm doing a storyboard gig right now. Almost done with it. I should be done with it. I wanted to finish it. Well, I'll get it done by the end of the month, hopefully. And I'm supposed to be starting another graphic novel. I'm not going to check my messages, but the money for the graphic novel. So I'm not going to say what the company is, but this company is getting funded to do more than just a graphic novel. They're doing games. What the phone is buzzing off the hook. It's games and animation and stuff like that. So they're getting a big tranche of money, but it's coming from overseas. And as the money was coming, it got flagged because it's so much money coming from overseas.
Gotcha.
And they're just sitting on it and they're reviewing it. And it's this is why you use crypto. I could send $1 billion to China in 10 freaking minutes for 30 cents. And there's none of this hogwash with it's just grinding stuff to. Anyways, I should be starting on that at some point whenever the money clears, because they don't want me to start working on it till I get paid, which is nice. And then other than that, I am working on stuff I shouldn't talk about because I don't want to jinx it, quite frankly. I have a vision. You know my vision, right?
Remind me. I probably do, but remind me.
Multimedia, everything, multimedia company and all that stuff. I've had this vision for a while. And for a while I was getting confirmation oh, Ben Shapiro wants to do a comic company with me. Oh, this other guy came in and he wants to do 10 of my properties in a movies. And it's I just met a billionaire and he asked me how he could help. And so I was getting all these confirmations for this thing. And then it just it's sort of God wanted to cement that vision that, yes, this is what I want you to do. But in the meantime, Joshua, or not, no, was it Joshua? No. Who was in prison for 20 years?
Joseph. Yeah.
Joseph gets his vision. Hey, Mom and Dad, let's check out this vision God gave me. You'll be in prison for 20 years now. It's that's how I'm feeling in this. It's all right, the vision's still there. I still believe the vision. So baby steps on something that looks like maybe it might be heading in that direction, and I don't believe in jinxes, but at the same time, I don't.
Hey, you notice, during that vision, God never told Joseph, you're going to be in prison for all this time.
Right.
He left that part out.
Yeah.
But you will get there. Yeah.
Right. But he was also always faithful, right?
Yeah.
Always faithful. So I'm just got to be faithful, trust in it. And what I've never wanted to do is sort of force it and try to do it myself. Right. It's it's going to be me that does. I don't want to take any credit and I trust that God's will, that vision's true and that God will make that happen, but it's got to be God that makes it happen. Right. It can't be me knocking on doors and maybe, maybe for other people that's the path they want to go, but I want to make sure that every step I take is a step that God has lit in front of me to put my foot on. All right. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember struggling with that, and I read the book of Elijah, like a commentary on the book of Elijah, and it was like, God led him every step of the way, but it was like he had to have faith and he had to like trust him, and he couldn't force it, and that's kind of like where I was at the time. I was like, well, if I just do this, like I can get there, and it's like you want to do it your own way, and it's like, no, you just have to like kind of let it go and just wait for the Lord. And
that lamp in front, the lamp before your feet only lights the next step.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, I'll be praying for you for that, and that all goes well.
Right on. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Cross Comics, shoot me a DM on X or wherever you are. I think you're on X, but yeah, I'd love to talk to more people about this. So if you working on a book, you have ideas, whatever, let's keep the conversation going, and love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Y'all
Mike.
come back now. You hear?
Come on back. Thank you, T-Bunny. All right, let's get out of here. I'll play the Shadow Century trailer and we will end this session. So thank you guys. God bless you and good night.